A very beautiful morning to you out there. Welcome to another informative episode of Housing Development, a program that answers your questions on real estate, housing construction, mortgage finance, interior decor, and so on. According to Habitat for Humanity, about 1.6 billion people live without adequate shelter. 1 in 7 people in the planet currently lives in slum. 1 in every 4 people will live in a slum by 2030, according to current estimates. 1 in 3 urban residents live in slums in developing countries, while in some countries, as much as 90% of the urban population live in slums. Such families living in slums lack the crucial conditions they need to live decently and strive as human beings. On this program, our advocacy is for the provision of decent and affordable housing for all. I am Flora Annie, your housing diva. Let's get to our news desk right now. I'll be back shortly.
The organizers of Africa's largest housing and construction event, Abuja International Housing Show AIHS, have confirmed that the Family Homes Funds, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, the Nigeria Mortgage Refinance Company, Brains and Hammers, Royal Brand, Cosgrove, and Copen Group are among the 85 companies that already booked virtual booths in the show's 14th edition, slated for 21st to 24th of July this year. Recall that the organizers earlier revealed that this year's edition would be virtual, as the show still retains the interesting elements that makes it the biggest housing stakeholders event on the continent. According to the show's convener, Barrister Festus Adebayo, a virtual edition became important because of the current global scourge of the coronavirus pandemic, and the demand for participation in the show remains high, as the show is expected to be graced by all and sundry from the construction, mortgage, and housing development industry as a whole. The Lagos state government has mandated the registration of all practitioners in the real estate business, including house agents, property developers, and professionals in the state. Special advisor to the state governor on housing, Toke Benson Awoyinka, stated this at the launch of Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority website and registration portal in Ikeja, Lagos. According to her, the mandatory registration will enable the government to build a database of practitioners so as to monitor their activities and build public confidence in the sector, and also stem the increased cases of scam in which innocent citizens are defrauded. She, however, revealed that the minimum requirements expected of the would-be practitioners or those already in the business are a minimum of school leaving certificate and an office space with a traceable address. The Secretary to the Borno State Government, Alhaji Usman Jida, has disclosed that Governor Babagana Zulum has executed 326 capital projects across the state in 1 year. According to Alhaji Jida, some of the projects executed by the administration under Governor Zulum include the construction of 6,544 suburban and low-cost houses in 12 local government areas of the state, resettlement of the internally displaced persons and refugees, and also the implementation of 49 policies and programs. He further stated that the administration also sunk 133 boreholes, built 37 new primary healthcare centers in 17 local governments, built and rehabilitated 30 roads, and is also undertaking the construction of the first flyover in Maiduguri, with more projects to follow suit.
I'm Debbie Erb. I work for OPIC in the United States, and keep watching the Affordable Housing Development Program.
Welcome back. For more housing news stories, visit www.africahousingnews.com. According to a statement by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on the occasion of the presentation of the Economic Sustainability Plan to President Muhammadu Buhari, part of the recommendation is to develop mass housing program to deliver up to 300,000 homes annually. Now, what must the federal government do differently to achieve the 300,000 housing unit target? The President of Housing Development Advocacy Network, Barrister Festus Adebayo, will speak more on this.
It is commendable that we have started thinking big and that the Sustainability Committee has come up with 300,000 units of housing annually. Great. But when you look at the President's speech on Democracy Day, you see that the President mentioned that the affordable housing has received a boost of 2,100 units, 500 service plots, 898 mortgage created. I think something is wrong. I can't even understand whether those figures are for community or they are for state or for a town. If that is the figure for Nigeria, that means we have a long way to go if we have to be delivering 300,000 houses annually. We need to work. I will suggest for us to actualize this, first and foremost, the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing should stop direct construction. Direct construction should be stopped by them. And then number two, to deliver 300,000 housing units, credible private sector investors should be engaged. That is the way to go. As of today, the project started by the ministry. I'm not sure it has been delivered. So we can therefore not accord the 300,000 housing units on them. To achieve the 300,000 housing units, we need to all be involved. The professionals must be involved. All professionals, this is time for them to come together. We cannot compromise standard. We see everywhere in many cities substandard houses being developed. Again, one crucial area we must take note if really we want to achieve 300,000 housing units annually is the involvement of the state government. They are the one in charge of lands. The federal government must take note of this. NGOs must support the federal government in this area to create awareness on the need for the state government to key into this noble idea of the federal government. Because, by the way, it will create employment in their states. Another way to go to achieve that beautiful goal is we must resort to the use of local contents. Local building materials must be adopted. And that is the way to create jobs. That is the way to create employment. That is the way to go. If really we must help our country. And we must also imbibe the idea of industrializing housing. We can't be building the way we have been doing in the various cities and think we can solve some of the housing problem we are having. We need to be manufacturing the houses. Manufacturing the houses. That is the way to go. And I will also use this opportunity to call on the Federal Ministry of Housing, because today I can't be mentioning to you that the figure for housing deficit in the country is so. Because the ministry has said that the figure is not right. So I would like to also use this opportunity to call on the Ministry of Works and Housing to please come up with figure as soon as possible. We need data to plan. We need data to take decision. A lot of people want to invest in this country. Need these informations. They deliver 2,100 units of houses. I was surprised because I know in Lagos have done up to that. And I know that there's a governor in the northern part of the country, in Borno State. I know that governor has produced over 6,000 housing units in 1 year. And if you go to Ogun State, you see what the state government is also doing. Recently, the governor of Cross River State built 52 units of houses, social housing, and dashed it out to the IDPs. That is the way to go. I remember asking them in that state some questions that what is the number of jobs that have been created through that gesture of the governor? How many professionals have benefited? How many artisans have benefited? Housing is key. It is a tool for economic development. Housing is different from shelter. When you talk of houses, you talk of access road, you talk of electricity, you talk of all necessary facilities that will make whoever occupying the place to enjoy his life. Still on the same 300 housing units by the government, Federal Housing Authority must be restructured and must be empowered to start delivering on a new mandate of rent to home. That should be their focus. I am saying it is time for the stakeholders to work together if really we want to get 300,000 houses annually. I am saying all the professional institutions must work together if really we want to get the 300,000 houses. I am saying we should spend a lot of time, resources on research, data, management, off-takers profiling. Because the problem, if you don't have the off-takers profiling, you will be building for wrong people. And for us to get it right, we need to build for the right people, the people that really need the houses.
I'm Leilani Farha, the UN Special Rapporteur, and I hope you'll keep watching the Housing Development Program.
That was Festus Adebayo speaking on the federal government projected annual 300,000 housing units and what the federal government must do differently to achieve this. Now moving on, the United Nations Human Settlement UN Habitat in Nigeria has stated that about 80 million Nigerians, representing 79% of the population, are living in slums. The growth of informal settlements around the Federal Capital Territory has largely been as a result of inadequate and non-affordable housing for all classes of the citizenry. A drive to Dutse Sokake reveals the dilemma of slum settlement. Take a look.
Even in a relaxed lockdown, the Housing Development Program is not relaxed on its advocacy for a decent and affordable housing for the low-income Nigerian. Hence, we took a trip to Dutse Sokake. Come along. Dutse Sokake is one of the 4 Dutse settlements, namely Dutse Alhaji, Dutse Makaranta, and Dutse Pokuma. Sokake, as it's fondly called, is a suburb in the Federal Capital Territory, located in the Buari Area Council, bordered on the left by Kubwa, on the eastern right, Dawaki, on the north, Gwarimpa. Quite fundamental for human survival is good shelter, coupled with a hygienic environment, but this is far-fetched in this community. A walk through the streets reveals the numerous life-threatening living conditions that residents are faced with. No wonder some sarcastically say that the area is outside the map. First, it was the heap of deaths on every side. The ground was flooded with old nylons, papers, tires, sleepers, and other ancient materials, with dirty water flowing from virtually every corner, producing an awful odor, making it almost impossible to breathe. Obviously, there are no drainages and no proper means of solid waste and sewage disposal. These residents have this to say about the area.
Here, people suffer and they don't take care of them. That is why everywhere just they scattered.
If there's somebody to monitor all this waste, or if there's a place they will provide that anytime your dustbin is clean, this is where you dump all these things, you burn and all those things. You stop all this between them.
If you can see, if you can hear this smell, everywhere is just smelling.
Water is an essential no human should lack. However, it's pathetic to know that many residents do not have access to clean and potable water. Some pay fetchers, also known as merua, to get them water. Others go all out to buy water to at least sustain survival. Nehemiah, a resident, laments.
Every day is fresh water. You just don't know what pay. If you don't pay, you won't get water. The choice is yours. You need the water, you must pay. So if you don't pay, you don't get water.
The roads are porous and not accessible. Some of the roads are padded with stones and cement bags to allow cars and motorcycles pass through. This elderly woman, who spoke in Hausa, could not hide her pain, just as the others. I want the government to fix the road.
The environment, as you can see, is bad. No good road.
And then it started raining. This is the aftermath of the rain, an even worse environment. What shelter means to these people is just having a place to lay their heads, as one can see this in the poor and feeble houses littered around. Some self-built structures with woods and even bamboos amidst garbage and garbage. This is Abdurrahman. His case is exceptional. He is an electrician whose shop doubles as a home for him, with what seems to be a carton-made shop. The cartons are worn out and bulgy. The shop is all choked up. No space, no ventilation, very untidy and dirty. One wonders how he manages to sleep here.
I have a fan, I have everything. See, this is a charging fan. I'll charge it. It's not like I will use my fan and sleep here. Yeah, they stay with me here. No option.
Quite disheartening. No one deserves to be subjected to such an inhuman living condition. They all cry out and plead with the government to come to their rescue.
I would like the government to come and help us change some things in the environment. I think that will go along with our environment changes.
They try and be coming to the local places like Sokake to see Kubwa. They try and be coming to see the environmental place, the environment.
Putting an end to slum proliferation is more urgent now than ever, given the scourge of the coronavirus pandemic, bearing in mind that this category of people are more vulnerable to diseases and infections. With no water to regularly wash their hands, no space to social distance, no healthy environment, no decent home, amongst others. To avert an imminent explosion of the virus and other diseases, the government and all authorities involved need to painstakingly look into this as a matter of urgency.
My name is Kehinde Ogundimu, the Managing Director of Nigeria Mortgage Refinance Company. This is a good program, housing development on AIT. Please keep watching.
right, you've seen the dilemma of the residents of Dutse Sokake in the Federal Capital Territory. Quite an unhealthy environment that is in their need of an upgrade. The program is still housing development. The digital Abuja International Housing Show will hold from July 21st to 24th, 2020. You have the opportunity to connect with prospects and promote your products and services. As a participant also, the virtual exhibition now gives you the opportunity to bargain with any real estate company, mortgage bank, furniture companies, or even home interior companies and several other companies of your choice anywhere you are. This is why you must sign up today for Virtual Abuja International Housing Show 2020. Now let's take a look at this report.
Events like the Abuja International Housing Show, AIHS, is designed to create a platform for both the striving and established real estate and construction practitioners. Following the current global scourge of the coronavirus pandemic, which has made physical distancing inevitable and calls for new strategies and innovations that will meet the expectations and needs of our numerous clients, the organizers of Africa's largest housing and construction event, Abuja International Housing Show, have emerged with a virtual edition of the show. Digital AIHS 2020 is scheduled to be a 4-day event which will hold from 21st to 24th of July 2020, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily Nigerian time. The event is designed to be accessible to all participants globally via internet-connected devices such as computers, laptops, tablets, or mobile phones. This event will also be available on demand for a further 30 days after the first 5 live days. AIHS partners in not less than 15 countries will also be among participants and exhibitors. Digital AIHS 2020 will feature exhibitions held in a custom virtual environment where exhibitors will be allotted custom-built virtual booths. Attendees will also be able to engage in meaningful conversations with exhibitors using text, audio, and video chat in a 1:1 or group setting. The event will equally feature a selection of webinars delivered by leading industry experts, some of whom will field questions from the audience via Q&A sessions. The theme for this year's event is Housing Finance Innovations for 2020 and Beyond, Sustainable System for Cities. And sessions will cover a wide range of topics spanning the entire property value chain from land acquisition to building quality. The AIHS, as usual, would be parading the highest number of professionals and government functionaries, including senators, ministers, governors, members of the House of Assembly, amongst others. It's indeed expected to be the game changer for every participant. Why a virtual AIHS event? Safest platform for linking participants from all over the world without exposing people to the risk of the coronavirus pandemic. Wider audience reach, including attendees from around the globe, giving even the smallest exhibitor the potential of accessing huge new markets. Massive cost savings for exhibitors and attendees alike. No flight, hotel, entertaining or printed brochure expenses. Cost per lead is significantly lower than a conventional event. No financial or geographical barriers to visitor attendance. Significantly higher attendance than conventional events. Attend at your convenience with regular live presentations with a unique range of speakers and on-demand presentations. Immediate and controlled communication with your audience. More efficient use of time for partners, attendees, and sponsors. AIHS is the largest housing and construction conference and exhibition in Africa. The show, which is built to hold from the 21st to the 24th of July, is open for registration to participants world over. Participants are kindly urged to visit www.ihsabuja.com.
My name is Andrew Chimponda, the Group Chief Executive and Managing Director of Shelter Afrique. I strongly endorse the housing program and housing show, and I think you should keep watching it. Thank you.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing Development Program, on Twitter, Housing Program, on Instagram at Housing Program. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
That is it on today's episode of the program. If you miss any part, you can catch up on our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa. And please click on the subscribe button. Also, do connect with us on Facebook via Housing Development Program and on Twitter via Housing Program. Like and interact on our posts. Join the conversation. I'll be back here same time next week. Do have a great day ahead and stay safe. I remain Flora Arnie, your Housing Diva.